Good day. Firstly, thank you to the organizers for the invitation to speak at this year's F&I Summit and for creating a platform where we can talk openly about the motor industry, the dealership environment, and the role F&Is play in the future of our business. It is a privilege to be here. I know that those of you who are in attendance understand the pressure of the dealership floor, which includes F&I managers, dealer principals, owners, sales managers, executives, and business partners who live this business every day. Because of this, I do not want to share with you a corporate speech filled with buzzwords. You have already heard enough of that. You do not need another person telling you to unlock synergies, optimize customer journeys, or leverage strategic systems. What I want to talk about today is much more practical, about how value-added products, when they are positioned correctly, sold ethically, supported properly, and understood by the dealership staff, can strengthen any dealership ecosystem. Not just to top up margins or tick a box or to help one department hit a target, but genuinely strengthen the dealership. Because the truth is, the modern dealership is under pressure from every angle. Margins are tighter, customers are more informed, affordability is under strain, stock cycles are becoming unpredictable, competition is aggressive, compliance requirements are higher, and digital platforms are changing customer behavior, and the cost of running a dealership is not getting any cheaper. So the question becomes, how does a dealership remain profitable, relevant, trusted, and sustainable? Value-added products are not the whole answer, but they form a very important part of the answer. And often, when I visit dealerships, I find that value-added products have not been fully integrated into that answer. The dealership ecosystem is the best place to start, because if we misunderstand the ecosystem, we can easily misunderstand everything else. A dealership is not a single business function. It's not just sales, service, F&I, or random parts. It's a living ecosystem of interdependent parts that either move in harmony or create friction. When one part is under pressure, the others feel it immediately. When sale pushes volume without quality, the service department inherits the problem later. When service underperforms, customer trust declines and trade cycles shorten. When the F&I is disconnected from sales, the customer experience becomes fragmented. When parts are not aligned with workshop efficiency, productivity drops. When customer communication is inconsistent, CSI suffers. And when CSI suffers, manufacturer support weakens. When manufacturer support weakens, the entire profitability structure shifts. Nothing in a dealership exists in isolation. That is why the word ecosystem is not just a slogan, it is reality. Value-added products sit directly inside the ecosystem. They are not external to it. They connect it to the point of sale. The long-term ownership experience and the excitement of delivery to the reality of ownership risks. Value-added products connect the dealership's immediate profit to its long-term customer retention. When value-added products are handled well, they strengthen every part of that ecosystem. When they are handled poorly, they create breakdowns in trust that spread across any dealership's departments. I remember a time running a large dealership where we were selling 150 new and used vehicles a month and had about 50 service and repair orders a day. What stood out for me was not just the sales performance, but how interconnected everything was behind the scenes. The most engaged people in our F&I process were not sales or even management, but they were the parts department. They were deeply interested in where the maintenance plans, warranties, and service extensions were being sold on vehicles. Why? Because they understood something fundamental. Value-added products directly influence future workshop activity and parts consumption. That is ecosystem thinking. It raises a simple but powerful question for every dealership. How are your managers, service managers, workshop controllers currently involved in driving your F&I performance? In many cases, the answer is very few, and that gap represents opportunity. When we talk about value-added products, we often default to technical descriptions. We talk about warranties, service and maintenance, tire and rim, scratch and dent protection, roadside assistance, and credit shortfall. All of that is accurate, but it is not how customers think. Customers do not think about product categories. They think about the outcomes. They think about uncertainty, monthly affordability. They think about what might go wrong, not what is technically included in a policy document. For them, it's about real life events, not product structures. Trust me, a customer does not wake up thinking about a warranty. They wake up thinking about whether their vehicle will start, whether repair bills will break their budget, or if they are making a safe financial decision. So when we translate value-added products into customer language, something changes completely. A warranty becomes protection against unexpected mechanical failure that could disrupt their lives. A tire and rim product becomes protection against unavoidable road conditions and everyday hazards. Scratch and dent cover becomes protection against the realities of parking in tight spaces and daily commutes. The service plan becomes certainty in a world where costs keep rising unpredictably. When customers understand products in that way, resistance decreases and relevance increases. One of the biggest mistakes in our industry is timing. We often treat value-added products as something that happens at the end of the deal. The customer has chosen the vehicle, the excitement is at its peak, paperwork is being prepared, and everyone is trying to close the transaction. Then, in that final moment, we introduce the idea of protection, risk cover, and additional financial decisions. But by that point, the customer is mentally done. They are not rejecting the product, they are rejecting the timing. If we introduce ownership risk earlier, which is our value-added products, in the conversation, the entire dynamic changes. Because now we are not selling something extra, we are explaining something essential. That shift from add-on to educational ownership is where the real value is created. The role of the F&I manager sits at the center of this entire ecosystem. It is one of the most misunderstood roles in the dealership environment. On paper, it looks administrative, such as compliance, bank submissions, and product explanations. But it is far more complex. The F&I manager operates at the intersection of emotion and mathematics. On one side, there is excitement, a customer who has chosen a vehicle and is emotionally committed to it. On the other side, there is financial reality, affordability, credit approval, interest rates, and long-term risk. The F&I manager is responsible for bringing those two worlds together clearly and compliantly. That requires more than process knowledge. It requires communication skills, emotional awareness, timing, and the ability to simplify complexity without losing accuracy. A strong F&I manager is not someone who simply presents value-added products. They are someone who translates risk into understanding. They take technical product information and convert it into personal relevance. They take financial structures and convert them into a monthly reality. They adopt a dealership strategy and convert it into customer trust. That's not an administrative function. That is a professional advisory role. When it is done well, it strengthens every other department within the dealership. From the customer's perspective, vehicle ownership is not just a transaction. It is a long-term financial commitment that affects their daily lives. It determines how they get to work, how they manage family responsibilities, and how they experience independence. But it also introduces risk. That risk is often underestimated at the point of sale. A single mechanical failure can disrupt months of financial planning. A damaged tire can turn into an unexpected expense. A minor accident can become a significant out-of-pocket cost. When customers are already financially stressed, those moments are not small inconveniences. They are stress points that affect dealership trust. This is where value-added products become even more meaningful. Not because they are financial instruments, but because they provide stability in uncertain moments. When a customer is supported during a claim, when the process is handled properly, communication is clear, and the outcome is fair, something powerful happens. Trust is reinforced. And that trust is what brings customers back. Dealership profitability is often discussed in narrow terms: units sold, gross margins, F&I engagement, workshop hours, and parts sold. But the real profitability of a dealership is not a single transaction. It is in the lifetime value of a customer's relationship. That relationship extends far beyond delivery day. It includes servicing behavior, repeat purchases, trade-ins, referrals, and brand perception. Value-added products influence all these areas. These add-ons create structured touchpoints after the sale. They bring customers back into the dealership ecosystem. They create opportunities for service engagement, support workshop planning, and generate repeat interactions that would not otherwise exist. Value-added products help stabilize income in environments where vehicle margins fluctuate. But again, this only happens when these add-ons are not treated as isolated sales events. They must form part of a broader ownership strategy. From a dealer principal or dealer owner's perspective, the conversation becomes even more strategic. The question is not simply how to increase product buying. The question is how to build resilience into the business model. A dealership that relies only on vehicle margins is exposed. Market conditions change quickly. Interest rates shift affordability. Stock shortages affect volume. Competition affects pricing. But value-added products create diversification within the same customer transaction. They do not replace core revenue. They stabilize it by creating retention pathways. A customer with a service plan or motor warranty is more likely to return, and a returning customer is more likely to purchase again. A repeat customer reduces acquisition costs and improves long-term profitability. That is how ecosystem thinking translates into financial resilience. There's also a cultural element that is often overlooked. Dealership performance is not only driven by ecosystems, it is driven by behavior. How sales teams speak to customers, how F&I managers structure conversations, how service departments handle complaints, how management responds to feedback, how product providers support claims. Culture determines consistency, and consistency determines trust. If value-added products are treated as targets to be achieved, they will be sold inconsistently. If they are treated as customer protection tools, they will be positioned with clarity. And that cultural shift starts at leadership level, because teams mirror what leadership prioritizes. The future of this industry is also changing. Vehicles are becoming more complex. Repair costs are increasing. Technology is evolving rapidly. Customers are researching more before they purchase. Digital platforms are reshaping expectations, and transparency is no longer optional. In this environment, the dealerships that succeed will not be the ones that only sell vehicles. They will be the ones who guide ownership decisions. They will be the ones who explain risks clearly, build trust through consistency, and integrate sales, F&I, service, and parts into a unified customer journey. Value-added products will play a critical role in that future, not as optional extras, but as structured support mechanisms within vehicle ownership. Your product provider also plays a critical role and should not only drop off brochures, rate cards, and laminates. They should support training, process, claims, dealer engagement, and customer outcomes. The wrong product partner creates noise, while the right value-added products partner strengthens the dealership. It takes time to understand your unique business and advises on the correct product basket. The right partner is also somebody who truly understands the dealership environment, based on experience and not on assumptions. Not one of us is a master of everything. We all have unique skills and experiences. So today I urge you, if you want to have a conversation about value-added products in your business with someone who truly understands dealers and what it takes to run one, then please reach out. We are passionate about the motor industry. And whether you are a client or not of ours, we are happy to engage and share our knowledge with other passionate people. To close, this is not about selling more value-added products. it is about redefining how we think about dealership value. A dealership is not just a place where vehicles are sold. Again, it's a long-term relationship, and every relationship is built on trust, consistency, and clarity. Value-added products, when handled properly, support all three. They reduce uncertainty for the customer, they strengthen profitability for the dealership, they improve retention across departments, and support better service outcomes, creating a more stable and resilient ecosystem. But none of this happens by accident. It happens through intention, training, alignment, leadership, and through a shift in mindset from transactional thinking to ownership thinking. At the end of the day, the motor industry is still about people. People are making one of the biggest financial decisions of their lives when purchasing a vehicle. They are trying to do the right thing for their families, balancing aspiration with affordability, while trying to trust the dealership they are dealing with. If we get that part right, everything else will follow. Value-added products are not the hero of this story, but they are one of the tools that help us serve that story better. And in a market like ours, that makes all the difference. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I truly appreciate your attention and engagement.